What's good, DP? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Big face in the building, man. Oh, everything going down, man. You already know what time it is, man. I want to know if anybody that's going to come in the chat that can do 80 years. Can y'all do 40 years flat in prison? Let me know. I'm talking to the people that can do 40 flat. It ain't no funny situation, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real all the way across the table, man. Real talk. Ain't no doubt. You don't supposed to be able to do no minutes and no confinement. Real talk. I'm my boy Suge in the building, man. What's good, Suge? Yeah, man. Ain't no doubt. It's all good on my end, Suge. Real spill. Y'all seen that youngster the other day? He already was doing 50, and he went back to court for that other case, and the judge gave him 80. Man, y'all can't even imagine doing 40 years flat. Ain't no doubt, man. It's all good, Shu. You know, everything understood don't need to be explained, man. We from the ground up, man, so it's all good. Yo, you know, whether you slide through, whether you don't slide through, my boy, still the same. You know what I'm saying? What's good, man? It's all good on my end, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm gonna bring it like I always bring it, right? I just had a question to ask the people because I know they getting out a bunch of time in that court, right? And I seen that boy, what's his name? Tay-K? Tay-K, that's his name. He got 80 years yesterday. 80 years. You know what I'm saying? You can't even fathom in your wildest dream how you gonna put together 40 plus years before you even see parole. Real talk. That's a lot of time, man. I watched that sentencing, man, and I watched that kid's motion and the way he moved, right? He didn't have no motion. He was motionless. I mean, he was like he was in the Matrix, man. You know what I'm saying? What's the topic? I'm talking about the kid Tay-K. He got 80 years the other day. He was already serving them 50. He got 80. They ran the 50 in with the 80, right? So both of the sentences ran concurrent. You know what he is? His name Tay-K. Yeah, he done. Ain't no doubt. He cooked. Y'all see what I said? Tay-K, welcome to the time machine. You have just entered the time machine where you go in as a young man and you come out in a body bag. No, they ain't put him in no chokehold. 80 years is way far greater than a chokehold. He in a chokehold. He in a straight jacket. He in whatever kind of. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. He in whatever kind of submission that's available. I like to call it he tied in a knot. Because see, when you get tied in a real knot, can't nothing release the knot, man. Right? And I've seen a lot of boys go to the time machine and do a bunch of time, right? Yeah, I see a lot of boys go to the time machine, do a bunch of time, right? And get out. But in today's time, these kids ain't built like that. He ain't going to do no 40 flat. He got to do 40 calendar years because now they got the half law. So you have to do half of your sentence, whatever you get before you see the parole people. You have to do half of your sentence. You know what I'm saying? So 80 years mean that he gonna have to do 40 flat. That ain't to get out. See, listen, let's take a walk down this thing right here, right? You know what I'm saying? That ain't to get out, right? 40 years ain't to get out. 40 years just to see somebody. Only to come up for parole and get denied. Cause don't too many men make no first parole. Real talk. You got to be the luckiest man on earth to make first parole. I ain't never really ever seen a man make first parole. Real talk. Not in my era of doing time. I ain't never seen a man make first parole. I think only one time out of my 25 years where I seen a man make first parole, right? And that was 1 out of 1,000,000, right? He made first parole, blew his mind. The cards gotta be folded right before you make first parole, but this kid here, right? I always like to look at the situation and the facts of when these boys get tired and they're not, right? The other youngster that's made bond the other day, right? Had a $2 million bond, right? Got it reduced to $250. Get out of jail. This kid ain't never been to jail, ain't been in no trouble, ain't been in none of that, right? Now, he make bond, right? And he stand a chance of still going to prison. I ain't doing no tripping. I'm just getting a ball to strike. And I can speak to it because I've been to that motherfucker. I know what it feel like to walk them hallways for calendar years and years and years and years and years at a time. I know exactly what it feel like, right? I know what it feel like to go in front of the magistrate and get a whole bunch of time, right? Because that's the lane I was in, and that's what they offered. They offered a bunch of time for the lane I was in, right? But these boys ain't even in that kind of lane. These boys get a lot of time trying to be something they really not. I listened to that judge when she sentenced him, right? She sentenced him to 80. He already doing 50. Now check it out. He already doing 50. So she give him the 80. She saw something in him that everybody else saw in him, right? This is what she told him. I'm giving you 80 years. You young. So when you get down there, you might join the gang because you young. In other words, what she was telling him, you know what, man? You look soft as a motherfucker. You look soft. So you gonna need some, that's what she said. She said, you might need some protection. This is what the judge said. Judge Boyd told this kid, you might need some protection. So you might join a gang, right? And it was like she looking at him, right? This is what these people in this courtroom, when you go in there, right? They already know you scared. These people been doing this stuff a long time. They can look right through you. You know what I'm saying? What's good, what's good, what's good? Like I said, they already could see right through you, right? The people in the courtroom can see right through you, right? Yeah, that was a black judge. That was Judge Boyd, man. Y'all ain't up on Judge Boyd. Judge Boyd, she gonna give a ball to strike a strike. You know what I'm saying? And you only get one time to come in her courtroom. See, she got a, Judge Boyd is like this, right? She got the one time let it make it rule, right? See, I'm gonna give you a pass the first time, right? You got one time to come through here, and I'm gonna give you a pass, right? But if you come back in here, I got to have you. I got to have you, right? And this was who was on his case, right? She knew he had 2 unaliving cases, right? And in her mind, this is what she told him, just like this here. She said, everybody in your life has failed you. Your mother has failed you, your father has failed you. His dad had been to prison. Both his parents was gang members. Both his parents was gang members, right? His mama was raising him, right, as a kid, and she still was a gang member. That shit got lose-lose all over it. How can you win? I'm a kid, and my mama is a gang member, right? She throwing up gang signs. This is a woman, his mama, you know? So can you imagine what this kid coming home seeing? You know? Can you imagine what he coming home seeing? Right? Can you imagine that? This kid coming home seeing many people go in and out of his house, right? And everybody throwing up gang signs, right? So there he went. Him and his sister, right? Him and his sister going in and out of foster home, right? Him and his sister going in and out of foster care. Everybody failed these kids, man. Everybody failed these kids, man. This boy had no way of winning in the world. But you can't blame that on the system because everybody has to be held accountable for their actions. What's good, OCT? Everybody in the world has to be held accountable for their actions, right? All that old, I was raised in the ghetto, that shit is, that played out. It's played out. You know why? Look, my boy said, we don't speak Spanish over here, man, ain't no doubt. So if you come over here speaking Spanish, I can't answer you back, man. What's up, G? Got my boy Gomez in the building, man. My boy Gomez said everybody got a sad story, ain't no doubt. Everybody got a sad story, man. Yeah, everybody got a sad story, but sad stories don't give you no excuse. Sad stories don't give you no excuse. You still have to be held accountable for your actions, regardless. If your daddy went to prison and your mama went to prison, when you get old enough and you seen 2 people go that way, you should know to go the other way. See, you got first-hand experience. You got first-hand experience. So that's how them people in the system look at it. They tired of the excuses, man. They ain't buying all them excuses, man. I was raised in the hood. They ain't doing, No, you know why? Because there's too many people done made it out. There's too many people made it out. So if you go to the streets, right? If you go to the streets and you was raised in a household where it was not so good, right? But you go unalive a person, right? We sympathize with you because your upbringing was screwed up. But I can't give you no pass, man, for what you did, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't give you no pass for what you did. So you're gonna have to be held accountable for that situation. And that's what happened in this boy Tay-K situation. For that first senseless unaliving, he got a 50 piece, right? He got a 50 piece, right? And on that 50-year sentence, he had to bring 25 on that, right? Turn back around, years later, get ran back through the courtroom, and they give him an 80 piece, right? He got to do 25 on the 50, and he have to do 40 on the 80. And ain't none of that shit ran CC. For y'all don't know what CC mean, ain't none of that ran concurrent. All that time is stacked. All that time is stacked, right? He gonna have to do the 50-year sentence first, which is 25, and then he gonna have to come back and start on the 80, right? Which is half of that is 40. My boy said that's triple jeopardy. He got, no, that ain't no triple jeopardy. You got what you wanted, right? You got what you wanted because your actions said you wanted to go where you going. I always like to tell people this here, right? This generation of people that's growing up, right? These boys are walking life sentences. Real talk. A lot of these boys are walking life sentences. They just not in the system yet. But all they actions say, sooner or later, you will be in front of a judge and you gonna get what's yours because you working for it, right? It ain't no different than getting up, going to work every morning and going to get your check on a week or bi-weekly, right? Real talk. Check this out. If you work hard in the streets, and you put in work, as they call it, right? They call it put in work. I call it put in, you getting ready to sign this motherfucking paperwork. You know, if you put in the work you feel like you're supposed to put in to satisfy the people that's around you, right? Because I guarantee you, right, ain't no doubt, working towards retirement, that old time machine. Well, y'all catch on quick when I say that time machine. Hey, man, that time machine undefeated, man. I ain't seen a man yet that beat that time machine, right? Some people get long term, some people get short term, but you have to work to get there. See, you got to work to get there. And I will say this, right? The ride to any county jail, right? Listen to what I'm finna tell y'all. The ride to any county jail, I don't care where you at. That's the quickest ride you'll ever take in your life. If anybody have ever been put in the back of a squad car and they put them handcuffs on you, right? These people are professional drivers, right? They get you off of the street and in that jail quick. Every time I went to jail, I don't care where I was at. It was the quickest ride of my life. They took me, I went to jail, they removed the street clothes, give you the jumper, and now you going upstairs. Real talk. Real talk, that back seat, yeah. You can just, like he said, right? You close your eyes for a second. That's all you got, right? And then when you do close your eyes, you closing your eyes because you don't know if you're gonna see daylight again. Real talk, if you get a serious enough case, right? And every time I went to jail, my shit has been serious, right? But like I tell people, For those that ain't never took that ride, I'm talking about that other ride. I ain't talking about no fucking jail. I'm talking about that other ride. The one when somebody be sitting next to you and they handcuffed and you handcuffed and the man in the back of you, he handcuffed too, but he handcuffed to somebody else, right? Now, here's the deal. And when you ride going down that freeway, you go so deep in the country that the skyline from whatever city you from, it fades out. Especially when you got a bunch of time. You know in your mind, I won't be back for a long time. And that's the way that young kid Tay-K feeling. He feeling the same way. See, it ain't hit him yet. It ain't hit him yet. It ain't hit him that he got to do 25 flat on that 50. See, that ain't registered yet until he get to his 15th year, right? See, it always comes up when you know, the first 5 years, you can walk that down, right? Then you do another 5 years, which is 10, then that's when it hits you, right? It hits you when you 10 years in. Because guess what done start happening now? Your whole facial features have changed. See, you went in, look how small he is, right? Look how skinny he is, right? But you go in as that young kid with that kid frame face, you skinny, right? That's the first, little time you in there. But when you get into that 10th year, you begin to see the physical form changing, right? The physical form begins to change. And when the physical form begins to change, see, you done shedded all that mentality you had when you was in society, right? Real talk. So what happened with this here is that, what's good? Y'all ever hit that like button, man? I didn't think I had to say that, but I guess I do. Y'all hit the like button, man. If y'all hear about Will Live Feed, hit the like button, man. Real talk. And we can have a conversation if you come here for that. But if you didn't, I got some people in the chat that take care of the business. Anyway, back to what I was saying. When you enter that time machine, which is any prison you go to, it is a time machine, right? And some men eat them alive. Because it's all about mental now, man. You can't get high. You can. Let me take that back. Because them boys is falling out every day on that tomb down there. They tuned out. They falling out every day. Unaliving themselves, jumping over the run, biting they silly faces and all that off the wall shit, man. I done seen it. I done seen how them boys transform when they come down there, right? I done seen it. When their physical features change and they don't have the facade that they had in the world, when they carried that tool, as they call it, that pole, ain't nobody gonna look up to you down there, man. No. You ain't got nobody parade around the block for. You can't show off your big chain. You can't put your stacks up, right? Ain't none of that. That boy sitting in jail with a 50-year sentence and an 80-year sentence, right? Ain't even got no life to show for it. He ain't got no life to show for it, but it ain't hit him yet. It ain't hit him that he ain't never getting out. He ain't never getting out. You ain't walking that down. You ain't walking that down. I don't care how tough you think you are, you ain't walking that down. Ain't no doubt. That's what I be trying to tell him. Why you wanna, look, man, look. Dig this here, man. staying free ain't hard, man. Staying free ain't hard, man. However, you have to have the mindset of a person with a made up mind. Now, you can, if your mind made up, you can do some more stuff that's gonna cost you, right? But if your mind made up to stay free, you're gonna stay free. And that's real. But when you get tied up in a knot at 16, 17, 18, and they give you 60, 70 years, all that stuff that you did when you was free, that shit fades, man. And then when you finally become a man, it's gonna hurt even more. Because you know why? You gonna look back and you gonna ask yourself, man, that shit wasn't even worth it, man. It wasn't even worth it. But it's too late then. He gonna see that 80 years and he have to do 40 years flat before he can even think about getting out. And he will get that set out. He will get that set out. Believe me, man, I know. And some people, you know, they always saying, how you know? I can speak to what I've been through. Yeah. So you see that 50-year sentence he got? He got to do 25 flat to come up for parole, right? I did the 25 flat. That's how I know how the shit feel. I know what it looked like to look at the calendar every day and you flip it over year after year after year after year after year after year. And you go in front of the people and they say, oh, you ain't ready. We're going to give you another 3-year set off. We're going to give you a 5-year set off. Getting a 3-year set off is like getting a whole new, brand new sentence, man. But I know most people that ain't never been in that situation don't know how it feel. They don't know how it feel to get no 3, 4, 5-year set off. Oh, got my boy Tony in the building, H-Town Tony, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Hit that like button. Yeah, if y'all heard about We're Live Feed, hit that like button, man. Let's make it happen. We ain't gonna be here that long, but we here, and we might as well hit the like button because it's free. I ain't gonna give you no time if you don't hit the like button. But there ain't no sense you being here if you ain't gonna hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, pound it, man. Pound the like button, man. Let's make it happen. So, like I was saying, man, most people don't realize, man, that the time machine, as I like to call it, you know, most people say, oh, he going to prison. Well, I'm way past that. Those people that say that is the ones that ain't never been there, you know, so they don't know what it's like to be in a time machine, right? Oh yeah, young boy got 80 years. Ain't no doubt. Hey, Tony, that's why I'm telling them, man. I've been there. I know what it feel like to get that big number, right? I know what it feel like to get that big number. And I know what it feel like when you leave out of that courtroom, when you go over there by yourself. See, it don't hit. The thing about that time, listen, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. The thing about that big time, it don't hit right away. No, it don't hit right away. See, now you still able to pick up the phone, call, and do all the same things you was doing, right? Because it don't hit right away. It hit when you catch that chain bus, when you handcuff to the man next to you, right? That's when it hit. When you look back like this, and ain't nothing in the back of you but freeway, and they taking you on off into that country, you know what I'm saying? They taking you on off into that country. See, you know, they build prisons in the country because they don't want you to be adjacent to nothing. They don't even want you to have no thought of the city, right? That's why they build them so far. That's why they make it so hard for your people can't come see you. So they want to cut you off from everything. They want you to know you belong to us, boy. You belong to us. That's why they build them so far. Because they know one thing. The thing about this, man, is all that is psychological, man. What's good, what's good, what's good? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Listen to this here. The thing about this system shit, man, and I don't understand why people can't get it. This shit is a numbers game, man. It's a numbers game. They know more people are not mentally equipped to do one day in jail, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Oh yeah, them cells be that small, man. You know, but you got some cells that's small, and you got some cells that's kind of bigger, right? But nevertheless, if you've been in one cell, you've been in them all. Some of them just got a little bit more leeway, right? But regardless of the fact, when you're in that cell, they got a top bunk and a bottom bunk. So you're gonna go up and you're gonna go down. And let me share something with you about that top bunk and that bottom bunk situation. The older you get, it ain't no fun jumping up on that top bunk. Real talk. It ain't no fun jumping up on that top bunk. Every day you gotta go in that cell and jump up on that top bunk, right? And hey man, put it like this, man. Stay free, man. Do yourself a favor and stay free. Stay out of them people wearing that system, right? I always love to tell people, man, you know, people, I'm gonna chase the bag. Hey, man, listen to what I'm telling y'all, man. Even if you get the bag and you get a case, you can have the bag with the case and you in jail. You just like the man under the bridge. Why people can't see that? I'm not understanding that. When you chase the bag, right? Real talk. My boy said, you better get you a bottom bunk pass. I said, just like you made mistakes, young niggas gonna do the same. Ain't no doubt. I got to agree with that. That's why I ain't knocking them. Just like you made mistakes, young people gonna do the same. You live and you learn. Exactly. I'm in full agreement with that. But all I'm saying is this. If it's right in front of you, if it's, you don't even have to go though, because it's in front of you. That's all I be saying. I'm not saying not go out and do whatever you feel like you're gonna do with your life. That's your shit. That's all I'm saying. But if the book is in front of you, all you have to do is open it up and read a little bit. They tell you how much time you're gonna get. They tell you how much time you're gonna get. So I'm not telling you not to go out and get 80 years. Go out and get it. But I will tell you this. If you ain't mentally equipped to do 40 flat years, don't do it, man. Because they ain't got no problem with getting it to you. Yeah. So don't ever think I'm coming on here trying to tell you how to live your life. Oh, I ain't into that. I ain't into saving nobody. I ain't into saving nobody. You can go out and get whatever kind of case you want. But I will say this. At the end of the day, when you get through doing 40 years, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be saying the same thing I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But you don't even have to get it because the book is in front of you. It's called a life book. Open the book up and it tells you exactly how much time you're going to get for the shit you participating in. That's all I'm trying to say. But they don't do that though. They just go and do it and then go in front of the courtroom and get 80 years. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, try it out. It works, man. Try it out. It works. And like I said, they ain't got no problem with giving you that time, man. It's one thing I know. They gonna always make room. I seen a time it wasn't no room. Shit, they gonna put you on top of each other. Yeah, it ain't no room in cell 6. It's already 4 people in there. I don't know, go in there. You'll be number 5. Y'all figure it out. Slam the door right behind you. Slam the door right behind you. I can't say what Yellow Bees is gonna be. I don't wish that on nobody. Because I know a lot of people can't handle that shit. That's what I be trying to tell you, H-Town. I don't wish that on nobody. Because people are who they are when they enter the free society, right? They got all the mental toughness in the world when they're in society. But it's when they get there, the mental toughness go away. Because they know one thing, ain't no going home. See, ain't no going home. I can't go down the wing stop, right? I can't go to the Nike shoe store. See, when it's just the mental fortitude that people lose when they get in that box, especially when you got a lot of time. You see, you can talk that shit when you ain't never been nowhere. You been to jail for a ticket, or you been to jail for jumping on your old lady and all that. All that shit don't count, man. All that shit don't count. You know, you been to the county jail and did 2 months, or you been to state jail, you know, all that, none of that shit don't count. It don't measure up when you get some real time for a real crime, right? I bet you can ask that boy, how do he feel with that 80 years? He wouldn't even know where to begin to answer that, because it ain't no answer. Yeah. It ain't no answer for 80 years, man. How you feel, man, they gave you 80 years? Man, nigga, I don't know whether to be mad or sad. Yeah. That's the answer. I don't know what it feel like. Because when they issue that much time, you ain't got no feelings. Yeah. But I understand it's easy for people to speak on something when they ain't never did a day in that bitch. It's easy for people to speak on something. Yeah, when you ain't never did one day. Yeah. But I understand though. It's a action for every reaction in anything you do. Yeah, and I'm gonna speak on it because I've been there. I seen them come and go. I seen them have 5 years when they show up, only to come back 6 months later with 60 years. The whole outlook of the situation done changed. It changes you. Yeah. And that's why I said about that boy that got to 80 years, right? The rap songs he made and all that other shit that he made, right? In a couple of more years, nobody's gonna remember him. Nobody's gonna remember him. Only person that's gonna remember him is him. And he gonna regret like hell that he did what he did. You know why? because as you get older, your mindset changes and you regret a lot of things that you did to put you in situations that you didn't have to be in. But you only learn that through maturity and growing up. Trust me. Trust me. Like I said, 80 years is a long time to do. And I don't care who doing it. It can be a man that done stood 20 toes down in prison. Give him 80 years and watch his body language. Watch him melt like some ice cream. Especially when he know he got to do 40 flat. People don't even live that long. Most people don't even walk the earth for 40 years. Less known being caged for 40 years. They just don't do it, man. But you can't blame the people. He unalived 2 people. That's what he did, Big Face. He unalived 2 people. Yeah, he already had got a 50 for one. And the court, he went to court the other day. For the last one, they gave him 80. That's what he did. That's why I say, you can't ask for it to rain and not expect the mud. It's because the mud come with the rain. Real talk. You know, you go through life and you want something so bad, and when it show up, you don't want it no more. You don't want it no more. That's why I say, most of these guys, man, are out here walking life sentences. They just ain't signed the paper yet, but their actions show that they will be in the courtroom one day. They walking life sentences, man. Look at it. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Because that people in that black robe, they ain't gonna stop issuing that shit out. They got all the smoke. So you know how dudes be saying, I want all the smoke. You don't want all the smoke. Because that person sitting up on that stage, they got a lot of smoke. Ain't no doubt. You know, that's why I tell people, don't underestimate your son, man. Because he's going to be all that in front of you. But when he walk out that door like this here, see, he's something else. He's something else. He going to show another whole side. And what really tripped me out when I was watching that kid get that 80, he ain't no kid. He 20-something years old now. He been in jail. Guess what he said when the judge told him something? He said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He said, yes, ma'am. How you gonna show respect to a situation? You just showing respect to the situation. You ain't showing respect to the person. It's just a situation you showing respect to. Yeah, it ain't the person. He said, yes, ma'am. Real talk. Oh, yeah, he was raised right when the pressure is on. See, you just watch people that go to court, man, and it's always going to be yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, right? We got to give a ball, a strike, a strike. And the reason why I say that, I done this shit. See, I ain't going to sit up here and rip him, right? No, I ain't going to do that, because when we moving like that, that's what we do. See, I've been on that end of the field where I've been in front of the black road, right? And here I am saying, yes, sir, no, sir. That's my way of respecting the situation, not the person, right? I'm just respecting the situation I'm in and realizing what I'm up against. So it's by any means necessary to try to get out of this shit. That's the reason for the gesture, no, yes, sir, no, sir, because you can care less about the person that's up behind, up there issuing that timeout. Yeah, you can care less about that person. You just trying to find some type of way to satisfy the ego so they won't bang it hard on you. That shit don't work because it's all by case law. It goes by cases, baby. So when you go in there with the yes, sir, the no, sir, the yes, it goes by the case, man. It goes by the case. And, like I said, the book is there for anybody that want to read it. Just open the book. They'll tell you how much time you're going to get for your lane. But they ain't got time to do that, right? They ain't got time to look in this law book and say, hey, man, if I unalive this person, this is the time I'm going to get. If I run out of the grocery store with this is how much time they can give me. People ain't got time to do that. They ain't looking at it like that. That's called the impulse thinker. That's why so many of them boys like they are now. They impulse thinkers. They only think about it when it's over. They only think about when it's over. But I will say this, when it's over, and it's really over, it's over. When they put that double whammy on you and tell you you gotta bring double-digit years, man, go ahead and tell them people at home to break your plate. Because you won't be eating off of that plate. You'll be a grown man when you get back. That's if you survive from a mental aspect. Most people quit in the first 5. They can't take it no more. Most people that are doing a substantial amount of time in prison, they quit in the first 5 years. Real spill. I seen it. They just quit. They quit taking care of themselves. Their hygienes go down, and all the above. And then they become a psych patient. Then they become a psych patient because in their mind, there's no way out. I got to do, you're hearing, man, I got to do 25 years. I don't give a. And then they go to the downhill spiral. And they might come out of it 10 years from the time that happened. But then they still have 10 more years to go. You already did 15 flat, and you still got 10 more years to go before you see the people. That don't mean you going nowhere. That just means you up a road, right? I don't understand why people want to fight that. It's like trying to fight Congress, and you the only one that's putting the vote in. Come on, man, they gonna bat you down every time, man. You get a lot of men say, man, OG, what was your hardest thing in prison? What was the hardest fight you had? I said, you can rest assured it wasn't against no inmate. It wasn't against no inmate. The hardest fight I had in prison was getting out of that joint. Because once you in, they want to lock you in. That's more money for them. Letting people go is unsecuring jobs. As long as you locked up, them people know in that country, they got a job. It's secured. Most country folk work at the prisons. Ain't nothing built around them places. Them people ain't from no cities. Them country folk. They grew up down there. They went to high school down there. And they turn right around and be a correctional officer, right? And when they come inside the prison, they see men from the cities and they be amused by that. Real spill. Men from any city is a celebrity to country folks. That's why so many of them get fired, because they participate. Because they are amused by men from the city. Those people grew up in the country. They rolled down them country roads, seeing them prisons every day, right? They couldn't wait to become a correctional officer so they can bring some in and get fired. Can you imagine waiting your whole life to work at a prison, only to go in there and see a prison full of guys from the city? You can't wait to bring in some country band, only for you to get fired and possibly get some time. Can you imagine that? Yeah, that's what they do. That's why I don't understand why people want to trade it all in to go to prison. But I get it. I get it. The best experience, you have to go. You got to go to prison to learn about it, man. That's why the boy got 80 years. He fought hard to get that 80. Yeah, now he earned his stripes. And he can't never take them off. He got 80 years for the stripes. He earned that. And he can't never take them stripes off, right? And he would never see another day on these streets. But he earned that though. Salute to him for earning his stripes. Real talk. It ain't hit him yet though. Doing 25 flat on a 50-year sentence, it ain't hit him yet. And then got to turn back around and do another 40 flat on an 80, it ain't hit him yet. He gonna be done practice every religion that is in the world before he's released. Mark my word. He gonna pray to every God it is that he can think about to help him to get through that. But that shit don't work. He'll be 57 when he come up. That's just to come up. That's just to come up. You got to, he'll be 57 when he come up, right? He got a 50-year sentence. He got to do 25 on. It's none of that is ran concurrent. All that shit is stacked, right? The sentence he doing now is a 50-year sentence. And he up under the half law. Let's get this straight now. He up under the half law. He got to do 25 on that. And then he got to start on the 80, which he got to do 40 up under the half law. That's way past 57. He won't be no 57. He'll be way past that. Real talk. And you got to put the set-offs in there, because he gonna get set off. He gonna get set off because he ain't gonna comply. He ain't gonna comply with the rules and regulations of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He ain't gonna comply. It ain't that easy. It ain't easy for you to have that much time and comply without breaking the rules and regulations. You talking to somebody that already did it. You ain't waking up every morning with that kind of time saying, I ain't gonna do nothing. Don't work like that, man. It only works in a utopian world. For those that don't know what utopian is, that's a perfect world. And there's nothing perfect about doing day for day. You're gonna have a lot of ups and downs doing that day for day. and you're gonna be front and center of them ups and downs. Trust me, you're gonna be front and center of them ups and downs. And you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. Although there's a lot of people don't ever take accountability for the things that they did to put them in their situation. They want to blame my childhood. My daddy went to the store and didn't come back. My mama went up there and got drunk. You know, they got all type of, excuses. It's very seldom you see people take accountability for their actions. But when you get in there with all that time, see, you got to blame somebody. You got to blame it on somebody. You can't blame it on the rain. Although it's gonna be a lot of rainy days when you're in there. Real spill, man. And I'm just calling it like I see it. 80 years is a lot of time, man. Just like the judge told him. The judge told him, Mr. Long, you got a substantial amount of time to do. He knew that, but he didn't show no emotions. Getting that amount of time, you can't show shit. Man, what's going on, Slim? You rolling? I see you. Yeah. Got old Slim in the building, man. It's all good. But y'all do me a favor, man. For those that ain't subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the truth, man. Quit getting lied to all the time, man. Quit getting played on, man. Look at my boy say, AOG, did you ever think you was gonna get it? Get what? What you mean? Did I ever think I was gonna get it when you was in there? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. I kind of felt like, hell no, I didn't think I was gonna get out. I'm being straight up with you. Nope. I didn't think I was gonna get out. Hell no. When you given a life sentence, you think that's just what it is. Everything in your mind is blocked out. Your heart turns black. It don't bleed red no more, it's black. It's kind of like the Navy SEAL. When they go over there and get all them kills, shit, they ain't worrying about it. They don't even feel no more. You know what I'm saying? You become emotional. It's the same thing like I am now. A lot of people in the world is emotional, right? Well, my mindset is still in the same mindset as if I was when I was doing the 25. See, my mindset is different from people in the world. I don't get emotional. And it's easy for me to detach from a situation. That's what it teaches you, right? If you allow it to teach you that. It teaches you not to be emotional, because when I went to prison, emotions will get you off. If you acted off emotions, you had a lot of men that was around, they imposed some real shit on you, with all due respect, right? With all due respect. It's just that, that's why, man, you don't see me getting emotional. When people say outlandish shit, you never get emotional. How do you prevent yourself from being emotional? Well, knowing what's worth it and knowing what's not worth it, right? It's kind of like this, right? A man know a man when he see a man, right? What I mean by that, in a close-knit environment, people know who they can disrespect, but they also know who they can respect, right? Sometimes a man don't even have to use brute force. It's just his presence demand respect. And on the back end of that, a lot of people know its consequences and repercussions for their actions, right? The same way with me, right? That's why I show respect. I don't underestimate nobody, man, because the very same person you underestimate will be the person that off you, man. Simple as that. You have to walk with respect, man. And people respect you. The only time a person ain't gonna respect you is if they don't know you and know what you're capable of. And they might disrespect you, right? But on the front end of that, sometimes you gotta give people a pass too, man, because you'll be the one winding up suffering the consequences and repercussions for your actions, all because you got emotional, right? It's kind of like being in the world. Listen to this here, man. Don't let this go over your head, right? Women go on a cycle, right? And they bleed and they get emotional. Why? Because of their situation. You got some men do the same thing. They get emotional and they act out, right? But in order for you not to become that man that acts out, you got to train yourself from a mental standpoint, man, and know when to step back and say, oh no, this person here just getting emotional, man. He don't mean nothing that he say. So I'm not finna put myself in a position to hurt him because I'm gonna have to suffer the consequences and repercussions for his actions. And you let the game take care of that. But you still gonna reap the reward though. So you let the game take care of that and you reap the reward at the same time. Don't let that go over y'all head. Don't let that go over your head, man. And most people that you see in the courtroom right now, they can't get this shit, right? This kind of talk, they don't hear. They don't hear this kind of talk. And if they did hear, they wouldn't understand it because they got an ego to protect. That's why they're in the courtroom, right? They try to protect the ego and a facade. That's why they're in the courtroom. Simple as that, man. So when you hear them say they want all the smoke, it's a different kind of smoke when you enter that fucking courtroom. See, that smoke there make you write rap songs. It'll make you do all type of shit. You know, it'll make you do all that courtroom smoke. It'll make you do all type of shit. It even make you tell it, and y'all see that with your own eyes. When they say they want all the smoke, and they enter the real world as real smoke, so they gonna tell it. They gonna tell it. Real talk, man. This is the era of people that can't control themselves emotionally, man. So what do, man? They act out. And I tell people all the time, man, master yourself so you don't become like him or you don't become like her. Master yourself because we are all similar in the same way. And those same situations are gonna come up. What do I mean by that? If you own a car, you're gonna drive down the street and somebody gonna be road raging. And if you own a car, it's possible that shit come your way too, right? But how do you handle that? You let the man in the next car do all that extra shit because you in your car, right? And that's when you put your tunnel vision on. See, if you don't turn around and entertain the thought and the light changes, that's like walking away. You live to see another day. You just drive off because you can rest for sure. He gonna go 4 blocks up to another light and do the same thing, and it ain't gonna end well. That's how life work. That's how life work, man. Y'all take what I'm saying and weigh it up against whatever situation you've been in, and you'll figure out where I'm coming from. You'll figure out where I'm coming from, man. This shit they call life is what you make it, man. It's what you make it, man. Do I believe in God? Hey, man, we got to believe in something. We got to believe in something. I didn't get her just by coincidence, right? Yeah. We got to believe in something. We got to believe in something, man. So whatever you believe in, don't believe in it when it's going good and abandon it when it's going bad. See, it's got to be even keel for anything in life to work, right? It's no different from believing in yourself. See, everybody can feel good when they ain't sick, and they can control shit when they ain't sick. But the minute they get sick, guess what happens? They upset because they not feeling good. You see what I'm saying? How many people you know, you say, man, I don't feel like, man, I'm sick, right? But when you become and you're able to master when you sick and when you not sick and it's even keel, that's when you know you're getting somewhere, right? That's when you know you're getting somewhere. That's how life works, man. In other words, what I'm saying is this, man. Be consistent with yourself, man. Be consistent with yourself. Because life wasn't meant to be easy. If it was, everybody'd be winning. Can you imagine everybody in the world winning? That'd be a catastrophe, man, if everybody had money. If everybody had money, people think it'll be better off. No, it won't. Real talk. Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. That's why I said, before you try to master anything in life, man, you have to master yourself. Because the most dangerous man in the world is a man with a made-up mind. Whether it's for the good or whether it's for the bad. That's the man you want to stay away from. Real talk. And that's probably the man that's not emotional. Because you don't know which way he's coming. You can call him everything in the book. And he'll look at you and he'll just walk off. And in your mind, you say, damn, I just disrespected this man. He just walked off. He got to be a coward. That ain't the case. That ain't the case. Ain't no doubt. I agree with that. Right? But a man has to know what a stumble is. A stumble is not a fall. Because everybody in life is going to stumble. And even when you do fall, you got to know how to get back up. You got to know how to get back up, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. But for those that don't know, I come like this every day, man. Ain't none of this shit scripted. You don't see nothing in my hand written down, man. This is just me. This is just me. This is in my DNA, right? I'm a teacher by nature, man. I am the book. That's what I tell people. I'm the book. But if you don't open it, you don't get it. And I'm not no smarter than you. What's good, Muhammad? I'm not no smarter than you. I just let my struggles be my strength. And with some other people, it's the other way around. Yeah. They let their strength be their struggle. I ain't wired like that. So, y'all remember to turn them notifications on, man, and keep your head up. Because whatever you're going through, if you tell yourself it's going to get better, it's going to get better. Because sometime in life, you can be your own worst enemy. You can off yourself from a mental standpoint. Real talk. So, it's been a good conversation. You know, it's been a good conversation. Most of the time when I do come, that's all it is going to be anyway, because I'm putting number positivity in the air, man. But I'm also giving the ball, a strike, a strike. Open the book and research your lane, and it'll tell you where you going if you commit an act. Maybe if he did his research and opened the book, he would have never got 80 years. But I get it. That's the most scariest thing in the world. When you participating in something and you open it and it show you the outcome, you don't want to do it no more. I get it. But what that's called voluntary ignorance. Why off yourself? When it's telling you right here, hey man, if you commit a CM, this is what I'm gonna give you. It's telling you what it's gonna give you. Real talk. Yeah. Real talk. I get it, man. I get it. But it's a certain thing is smile now, but you most definitely will cry later. And it don't mean literally. On the inside. And some men cry when they participate acts. They crying and they reaching out for help. But your action comes sometimes can put you in a position to where you get 80 years, man. Ain't no coming back from that. I don't care what nobody say. When you got to do 40 flat, ain't no coming back from that. I got brothers I know right now that's been down there 40 years. 40 flat years, and they suffer mentally, man. And there's nothing nobody in the world could do. Real talk. I know brothers right now that's been down there since they're 17 years old, man. 16, 17. And they went when I went in 89 and 90, and they still there. What more do you need, man? Real talk. What more do you need, man? I tell people all the time, you ain't got to go to prison, man. I went for you, and I don't even know you. I'm the book. For anybody that want to reach out, man, you can reach me at ahra@gmail.com, man. Hit me up. Hit me up, man. Correspondence, man. Hit me up. If you need help, don't be afraid to say, hey, man, this is the way I'm traveling, man. Which way do I go, man? I don't want to do that 25 you did, OG. How do I turn it around? How do I turn it around, man? And I'm not no fucking preacher, but I can tell you where you're going if you man enough to tell me what you got going on. Take accountability for your actions, man. Don't get that 80 years, man. Salute.